Dobry den, and welcome to the Patrik Berger YouTube channel. And we're doing our first ever video today, which is our Q&A session, which we promised a couple of months ago. So we've got together and we finally got all your questions. So thank you so much to everyone who's sent in a question. And I know Patrik is anxious to get through them, and he doesn't know any of them, so we're going to get genuine reactions as well. So, Patrik, how do you feel about...
Nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I have no idea what's coming up.
There's a few surprises. But first, obviously you've had, quite a lot of good feedback on the YouTube channel so far. How do you feel it's gone so far? Are you happy with everyone seeing your goals?
Yeah, mainly, the reason why we did it, I wouldn't be able to do it myself, so thanks to be a massive part of, my YouTube channel. And, I always wanted to put all of my goals, in one site somewhere, where people will have a chance to see all the goals, because I think there is a lot of different videos on the YouTube where you can watch my goals, but not all of them. So, thanks to, I was able to put all the goals together, and, they are in sections when I played for the national team. Then you have section for when I played for Liverpool, Portsmouth, Sparta, Prague, Slavia, Prague. So they are not too long. Yeah. I didn't score that many, but it's fun to do it, and it's great for the fans, that they have the opportunity to watch all my goals.
Yeah, and you've been getting some really nice comments as well. It's fun to see. Especially from myself moderating it, you can see all the nice comments that people have got, and there's all those memories that people have for you.
And that means that it was a good thing and a good idea, to do my YouTube channel and put all the goals, on that channel, so that the fans have the opportunity. And I'm sure that there's going to be much more than just my goals.
Absolutely. Well, this is the start of it as well. So again, thank you so much to everyone who's sent in a question over the last couple of months, and we're absolutely delighted to answer quite a few of them today. So there's been a few people that have sent in the same question twice. So hopefully your question will get answered. So we're going to start off with a few questions surrounding the Czech team. So we've got, and apologies if I pronounce any of these wrong, we've got Taki FPLTH from Twitter, and said, how can the Czech national team be as exciting as the one from 1996?
I think it's a simple answer for me. In my opinion, we just don't have that many quality players as we had in my era. When I played for Liverpool, Vladi played for Liverpool, Milan played for Liverpool, Poborský played for Manchester United, Nedved played for Juventus, Babel played for Atletico Madrid. So we had players in the top teams in Europe, and they played for their teams. So obviously when we all got together, we had a quality national team. I mean, these days we don't really have that many players in the top competitions in Europe, and the majority of the national team is from Czech League. And the Czech League is not even close to the top leagues in Europe, I would say. So that's why the quality of the national team is where it is.
Yeah, and it was it's a very unique era, wasn't it? In the like mid 90s to late 90s, the amount of quality players that we're in, and going into the mid 2000s as well.
Yeah, because we're a very small country, and obviously even the big countries go through the period where they don't have a good World Cup or good European Championship. It's up and down for every country pretty much. Yeah. And I'm sure that we're going to have some better times in the future. Let's hope that there are some youngsters coming up, and they will make us proud, and then want to watch the Czech national team again.
Yeah, absolutely. So next question, we've got one from Darren Dunbar from Twitter. He says, what was your mindset, and could you feel the nerves just before you took that penalty at Euro 96 final?
Yeah, I was shit. ... myself, as everybody would. I mean, it was. I think I was not the one who's supposed to take it. I think it was Pavel Kuka, but when I could see in his eyes that he doesn't want to take it, so I was the next one in the queue. So I just took the ball, and obviously, I was massively nervous. It's not. You can take a penalty when you're 3-0 up, and it's totally different circumstances. But it was 0-0. The European Championship final, and we could have gone 1-0 up, after the penalty. So I was definitely very nervous and very relieved, when I scored.
Did you know you were going to go for power? I mean, I know that's what you normally do.
I mean, I can do pretty, not now, but at the time in training you can do anything. You can wait for the keeper to go to a different side because there is no pressure. But obviously, when you're in a situation like this, you just want to make sure that. And I thought, the safest way is just to hit it as hard as possible and try to hit the target.
Which you did.
I think I was a little bit lucky.
It went under the keeper.
But as they say, if you score a penalty, it's a good penalty.
Absolutely, yeah, I completely agree. We'll stick with sort of Euro 96 because there's been multiple people have asked this question. What was the homecoming like in 1996? It seemed like it was an absolute hero's welcome for a lot of people. I
mean, that was the first major championship for Czech Republic, because we used to be Czechoslovakia. So when two countries split, then basically we become Czech Republic and Slovakia become another country.
Yeah.
And this was the first time we qualified for major tournament as a Czech Republic, and obviously with the teams we had in the group, Germany, Russia and Italy, nobody was expecting anything from us. Most of us played in the Czech league. We didn't really have that many players playing in the top competitions in Europe, so nobody was expecting anything. And we end up playing in the final. So when we got back to Czech Republic, it was like we won the European Championship basically. Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was scenes in the old Prague that I will never forget. It was overwhelming. And we felt very proud to represent Czech Republic and very happy to finish second. We were disappointed, obviously, but if you look at it back, then I think silver was like a gold for us, at the time. So it made the doors open to so many players, in that team.
Absolutely. So there is a funny story during that tournament because. I don't know how he knows this, but Huslan5869 from Twitter said, "What's the story around the players not being allowed to attend Vladimir Smica's wedding?"
Yeah, it is true, because obviously, listen, the funny story about the Euro is that all the players booked their holidays straight after the group stages because nobody was expecting we're gonna get through, with the teams we had in the group. So a lot of players had to cancel the holidays, and obviously Vladi couldn't cancel his wedding, so he was the only one who was allowed to go to his wedding, as you do.
Yeah.
And I think they hired a private jet for him, so he flew to the wedding. He couldn't even stay overnight.
Yeah.
So I think he had to be back till midnight. So it was like an in and out wedding for Vladi. It was very fast, and we could only see the pictures and the videos from the wedding, the next day, because obviously. Czech Republic, all the people were buzzing.
Yeah.
What's going on, and Vladi had the wedding in the middle of Prague. So obviously there's been so many people in his wedding, and I'm sure that he will never forget that as well.
He did spend his wedding night. Crazy.
He spent the wedding night with me to be here because we had, in that hotel we had room each. But we had a door in the middle, which they were open all the time. So basically he spent the night with me.
I'm sure a lot of people won't be surprised to hear that either. So, Mike Ashurst has said, what was it like winning the under-16 Euros and scoring in the final?
It was amazing because at the time I was still playing for the Czechoslovakia. So we were like half of the players were from Czech Republic, the other half was from Slovakia. And we had a really good team. And as always, we had no expectations, we didn't know what to expect. But we had a very good team. I think, half of the players made it to the Czech league, in the future. And some of the guys played in Bundesliga. Some of them played in the Premier League as well. So we really had like a good group of players. And then we had a tough group as well. I think we had Germany, Scotland and France, and we got through. Then we got Portugal in semi-final, and then Yugoslavia at the time we had in the final.
Yeah.
So I think we were 2-0 down in the final. Got to 2-2, golden goal, which in the history of European Championship, golden goal is hunting Czech Republic,
Yeah. Yeah. The irony.
The irony is there. So we won with a golden goal, and it was amazing feeling. It was basically the first major medal I won, and I got the feeling, you know, what is it like to win something.
Yeah.
So it was because, you know, when I was winning the Czech under 16, under 17, under 18 league, you know, it's not the same. This
Yeah.
was for the national team. It was huge, and it was amazing. So, you know, I will never forget that. You know, it was absolutely fantastic to be part of such a team.
And it's great that you've still got the shirt as
Now
well.
the shirt over there, that was the only thing we could keep. We were promised to keep the tracksuits and everything, but you know, when we win, so that was the motivation we had. But we won it, and we could only keep the shirt, so I still have it.
Brilliant. Was it strange signing for Slavia Prague, being a Sparta fan, or was it not important at that age?
I mean, that I could go for 20 minutes, you know, why that happened. But I just wanted to play football at the time. And I just wanted to play at the top level, even when I was 16 or 17. And, you know, Sparta Prague didn't give me the opportunity. Slavia Prague told me that, you know, if they will give me a chance, if I'm good enough, I'll play. If I'm not good enough, then, you know, we're sorry.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just wanted to play football, and you know, I was not the one who was signing the contract. It was my father, so I'm blaming my father. I was not 18 at the time, so I couldn't sign it.
Of course.
So it was my father who made the decision, and then he signed the deal.
Oh, brilliant. Hey, to be fair, your dad, I mean, we've saw previously, haven't you? Your dad's kept a record of all your, you know, your first ever game.
Yeah, I showed you yesterday, and
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be sitting here with you now without my parents, you know, without a doubt. So, you know, they have been massive part of what I have become as a human and also as a footballer.
Yeah. So obviously with Slavia, they're giving you that opportunity now. BVB King 455 from Twitter has said, even though it was a short period, how did you find your time at Dortmund?
Amazing and massive learning year for me, because, you know, I was still, I think, 21 or something like that when I joined Borussia Dortmund. And, you know, I was in the dressing room with players like Andy Meller, Matthias Sammer, Stefan Reuter, Jürgen Kohler. He was my roommate. He was 32 or 33 at the time. You know, the guys were world champions, European champions. They won Champions League. So, you know, I mean, the first few days I was walking around with an open mouth. You know, I just couldn't believe that I'm part of such a team. Yeah. And they treated me really well. I had a great year. You know, we won the German Super Cup. You know, we won the league. We did well in the Champions League as well. But I think, you know, we got to the, I think it was the quarterfinals or something like that. And you know, and I love it. The fans were unbelievable. It is. I think, you know, they equal to the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, there is that sort of synergy and connection, isn't it, to the two clubs because of how the fans are, and you never walk alone and that sort of thing as well. But what drew you to Dortmund? Like, was it just like that was the biggest offer you got at the time?
No, I had an offer to, I think, 3 different teams. I mean, the couple of years beforehand, you know, I had an offer from Bayern Munich, and you know, everything was on the table, the contract, you know, everything has been agreed, and we're supposed to sign the deal 2 weeks later. And in that period, I did my ACL and meniscus. Yeah. So obviously everything has postponed. And after 12 months, I started to play again. But, you know, Dortmund did have a good year. So they wanted to go different direction. Yeah. So I think I had Kaiserslautern and Borussia Dortmund on the table. And we already had 2 Czech players in Kaiserslautern at the time. And I just wanted to go somewhere where I'm going to be on my own. You know, I wanted to learn the language as soon as possible, and I just made the decision to go to Borussia Dortmund. Yeah,
that makes perfect sense. It does. What was it like winning the league title?
I mean, every silverware is amazing feeling, because you can win individual things as a footballer, which is nice. Yeah. But if you win something with a team that you spend time every single day for 12 months, you're working hard, you know, every single day. And, you know, at the end, if you win something and you can celebrate with the lads, you know, have a good time, and nobody can take that medal away from you. Yeah. You know, that's the best feeling in the world. So it meant the world to me. And I was lucky because I signed for them, and a few days later we played the German Super Cup, which we won. So it's something like Charity Shield in the UK. Of course, yeah. So that was the first medal I got. but the proper one I got 12 months later at the end of the season. So it was amazing.
Brilliant. Right, so we're going to dive into some Liverpool questions now. A few people actually on Facebook, and he said, how did it feel when you played for the reserves at Anfield and there was a record crowd to see you play?
No, I mean, amazing. I knew that Liverpool, the reserve team, played the games away from Anfield, and when I signed for Liverpool, I was injured. I had a problem with my calf, so I think for 2 or 3 weeks I was only in the treatment room. So my first game was for the reserve team, which in my country and in Germany was very unusual to put first team players to play in the reserve team, which is very normal in UK.
Yeah.
But I know for the fact that a lot of foreign players they were never happy playing for the reserve team, which is very usual and normal in UK in the Premier League to do. So when I find out that we're going to be playing at Anfield, I was absolutely buzzing. And I was not expecting, such a crowd. I think 12,500 people came over to watch the game. I mean, my wife was there with the junior, so I was happy to play. I was happy that I'm fit and I can play again. And obviously, I think I scored a goal as well. I think we won, so everything was nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I realized that I'm fit. I can be ready for the first team. And I still have the newspapers, from the next day, and I will never forget that day, obviously.
Yeah, superb. Ian Thompson has asked, when Liverpool approached you, what was the deciding factors that made you sign? I think it's pretty obvious what the answer is going to be, but...
Listen, my father is a Liverpool fan, always has been. I mean, in his era, it was very difficult to watch during the communism regime, football from abroad. But one of his friends, I think in the 60s, went to London and went to the game where I think Crystal Palace played Liverpool. And he went to that game and he bought the program, a Liverpool scarf and obviously the ticket. And he gave it to my father when he came back, because my father was a football player as well. He never played professionally, but he was really good. He was a right back. And so he had it ever since. I still have it. We don't have the scarf anymore, but I still have the program and the tickets. Yeah. So obviously, he was a Liverpool fan. I knew about Liverpool as well, and my agent came to me at Wembley, the day before the final against Germany, and he told me that Liverpool is interesting to sign you, and I was like, I mean, this is a great timing just to tell me how we're playing the European final tomorrow. But to be fair, since that moment, I just told him, I mean, do anything in your power to get me to Liverpool. Yeah. I really wanted to go, even if I still had 2 years left in Dortmund, and I was happy there, but I just wanted to go. I just thought that Liverpool is, much better club, and totally it would be like a for my career. I mean, better step to go. So I was delighted when everything went through.
So when you first signed for Liverpool, which players looked after you?
I mean, all of them. I must say, I couldn't speak the language. I couldn't speak English when I signed for Liverpool. So it was during training sessions and during the games, it was the easiest for me, because I'm a footballer, so that was easy. Yeah. Not easy, but it was. I didn't really have to communicate with the players that much. But in the dressing room, on the coach. When we went for the lunch, that was difficult, because obviously I couldn't make any kind of conversation, and I wanted to. Yeah. But they were so good to me. They were taking me for lunch, after training session. When they went for a dinner somewhere, they always invited me to go. But they were most of the lads were single, like Robbie, Maka, Jason, Babsy, Jamie Redknapp. These were the guys that were my age. So they took me under their wings, and they helped me to settle very, very quickly. So, they've been absolutely brilliant to me.
Did they even take the piss out of you, though?
They had, of course they have, yeah. I mean,
What did they do? Any pranks you remember?
Yeah, there was the first one I remember was when they were going to a famous restaurant, Estes Test in Liverpool, and obviously the waiter had like a fake cappuccino, and then when he was bringing the cappuccino, he made a move that the cappuccino spilled onto your clothes, and then everyone was like that. So that was the first prank they did on me, and It was funny.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's a lot of
I'll still remember that.
I'm sure there's a lot of others that we probably can't talk about.
I mean, there are a lot of things that I would like to share, but I can't.
Well, when you've got characters like Barnesy and McAteer and Robbie, who are
Jamie Carragher.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, to be fair, I mean, it was fun. In the dressing room was. That's what I'm missing the most.
Yeah.
You know, the banter and then the dressing room.
Yeah. When you first moved to England, what was sort of you thought was like your biggest challenge? You know, you mentioned the language before. Was there anything else?
No, it was the language. You know, because I was confident that, you know, football-wise, I do have the ability to play for Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to go as well. And the language was the hardest bit. You know, so it took time, but because you are with the lads every single day, then you pick up the language, you know, much quicker. And I could understand a little bit earlier than I could speak. You know, you kind of embarrassed, you know, to say something. And so that was the hardest obstacle, you know, for me when I signed for them.
Yeah. Was you just like sort of researching how to say on the pitch, pass the fucking ball or something like that?
Yeah, I think one of the first things I said to the manager was "fuck off," and I didn't know what that means. So the lads were laughing and they were like, "Ooh, ooh," you know, and I didn't know what that meant. So
just saying good. You thought you might say good morning.
Yeah, he was saying something in English, and I thought he's shouting at me. So I just said, you know, that was you always learn the bad words the first, you know. Yeah. So that's what I said, you know, like. Well, it was okay. He was laughing. I mean, Roy was a good character. So.
Brilliant.
Sound as S-A bound.
Jamal Zabedin, apologies if I've butchered that, mate. I do apologise. Has asked, who's your best mate at Liverpool?
Vladdy. You know, when Vladdy signed for Liverpool, I couldn't believe it. That because we have been friends ever since I signed for Slavia Prague. So we met when we were 17 years old, become, you know, very good friends. You know, we were doing everything together in Slavia Prague. Then we played for the national team together. Then I moved to Germany, he moved to France. Then I moved to UK, moved to Liverpool. And when Gerard Houllier came to me for the first time asking me, what do I think about Vladdy, you know, what kind of character he is, because they know what kind of player he was. He was a good player, they knew that. But they were looking also for good characters, you know, to bring in. And I was shocked. I was like, I mean, they're really thinking, you know, that they could bring Vladdy over. You know, that would be amazing. You know, I mean,
of course.
I mean, Liverpool never had a Czech player, you know, in the history of the club, and now they can have two. Yeah. And my best mate. I mean, so I just couldn't believe it. And when he signed the deal, I was over the moon.
Yeah, brilliant. So next question comes from Paul Cook. Yeah, Paul Cook, and. In fact, you could probably join in on this one. It says Steven Gerrard in one sentence.
Patrik Berger Jr.
Go on then. Steven Gerrard in one sentence.
I would say Mr. Liverpool.
Okay, here we go. Mr. Liverpool, yeah.
I mean, there's so many words you can use.
Yeah, legend. You can do it full episode.
You can do legend. You can do warrior. You know, I mean, I mean, there's so many words you could use. I mean, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on, but we could be here all day talking about Steven Gerrard. Sarah Worthington has asked you, she absolutely loves the Anfield atmosphere. You know, it's not just, you know, the walk alone, it's the sound, it's walking up the stairs and that sort of thing. She feels home when she's stood right near the pitch. She can sort of have the smells of the grass and the playing field. So for her, that's what makes Anfield so special. But for you, what is it about Anfield that makes it special?
I mean, when I played, it was different, you know, compared to now. But when we go with Patrik, you know, we try to go as much as possible to Anfield, you know, during the season. And I always have a feeling that this is my second home. Yeah, I always do. You know, the fans are, you know, the best in the world, and the atmosphere is. I mean, the anthem, you know, everything about the ground and also the crowd and, you know, the people, the Scousers, you know, I love them to bits. You know, they have a great sense of humor, and over the 7 years I played for Liverpool, I had a great relationship with them. So I feel at home as well over there. You know, I consider that place like my second home. Brilliant.
There you go, Sarah. Said I'd get that in for you. So LFC Fanagram, this one's from Instagram, said, if you could play with 3 players from the current Liverpool team, who would it be?
It would be definitely Mo Salah. I would like to play with, because I was offensively minded player, that I would like to play with McAllister.
Yeah,
I like the way he plays.
Yeah.
And I would like to play with Alisson.
Yeah.
Because I think that, he's, you don't really have to worry about anything, I mean, he's so solid, so good. I mean, he saved the team so many times, so I would say those 3 players.
Yeah, good. Again,
I could say Van Dijk, but if I have to go with 3, I would go with these guys.
Like you said, attack-minded, and McAllister, if you're making a run, you're going to get the ball off him. So love that. Sticking with Instagram, Shadley Daniels has asked, you were my all-time favourite player.
Thank you.
In fact, it's a double-barrel question, this, and we've got this later on, so Shadley, I'll add this in later. But the second part of it is, which current player reminds you of you?
Messi.
Because he's left-footed.
We same height, left-footed. No, I mean, the thing is, I think they play a little bit differently than I played. Now they play 4-3-3, so you have kind of 3 hard-working midfield players in the middle, and then you have.
You were lazy.
I was. I was not really a winger like Diaz or Mo Salah. I was something between that somewhere. I was I like to go forward, but I also had to defend, and difficult to say. To be fair, I don't think there is a player.
That, a
little bit, and the formation as well, and so I don't think there is anybody that I would say. I mean, he plays the way I played.
Yeah. No, it's a good point you make, because, like you said, now the game's changed over sort of 2 generations now since you played. So it is more of a 4-3-3 based football match now, and it is. But is there anybody apart from, if it wasn't Liverpool, is any player out there that plays for a different team that you think, well, that plays a little bit like me, or reminds you of you a little bit?
No.
That's it. No one hits the ball as good as you since.
There is no one even close to me.
Brilliant, love it. Darren Keith Williams asks, what was it like that last 10 days of the 2001 season? What a question.
It's a great question, because obviously, you play. I mean, Liverpool is all about trophies anyway, but as a player, you want to win as many trophies as possible. And we already won the League Cup, in February.
Yeah.
And we know that we have 3 cup finals in 10 days, because the game at Charlton was massive for us to be in the Champions League the next season. So it was huge. And it was funny when we were sitting in the dressing room, before training sessions, and we knew we have 2 cup finals ahead of us in 5 days. And we were talking, you're talking shit, in the dressing room and everything, what would you rather win?
Yeah.
And then it was interesting, because most of the English lads, they said, FA Cup. I want to win FA Cup, if I can choose. And all the foreign players, they were like, UEFA Cup. So you could see that, for the foreign players, to win European Cup, it's mean much more than anything else. And obviously, for the English lads, FA Cup means everything, because it's the oldest cup in the world, and it means a lot. And it's difficult to win. It's not easy. So we were lucky to win both. And also get the result at Charlton, the last game of the season. So it was amazing, because that year we had brilliant squad. The camaraderie in the dressing room was spot on, and everything was going our way. So all the finals we played that year we won. So it was amazing year.
Yeah, absolutely it was. I'm just going to add something on the back of that. We spoke before about golden goal being a pain in the arse for you for the national team, but did you like it when you played in Dortmund against Alaves? Anyway, for cup final.
I have been involved in 4 finals with the golden goal. No, in three. One in 1996, we lost.
Yeah.
One with Liverpool, we won.
Yeah.
Under 16 final, we won. And then I was not playing for the national team anymore, but they lost against I think it was Greece,
right,
with the golden goal as well.
Yeah.
So they didn't make it to the final. It was a semi-final of a European Championship. So for me, 3, for the Czech Republic 4 times.
Yeah. The one against Alaves, I mean, it was a case of, I still think that at the time people didn't really realise about the golden goal. I think there was a lot of people looking around.
They would say, what are they doing? Why are they running around? I mean, there's still 20 minutes to play. Yeah, I mean, It was our day. It was a crazy game, but it was our day, you know.
Absolutely right.
Thanks God for that.
Sharon Simons has asked. Oh, by the way, she named her dog after you in the year 2000. So you know, nice one, Sharon. If you've got a photograph, send it to us. And,
please.
We'll have a look.
I want to see what kind of breed that is.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sharon,
that's got my name.
Yeah.
Probably bulldog.
You're a big dog person, aren't you, mate? So that'd be good. Who was your favourite ever LFC player?
John Barnes.
Yeah. So when you are signing for Liverpool, I mean, we spoke before about the factors. You know, you were signing for Liverpool, don't matter who was playing for him, but playing with your hero, I imagine, is out of this world.
I was lucky that I played with him for one solid season, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been obviously, you know, funny guy. You know, I mean, he was very good to me. He was already, I think, 32 or 33 at the time. So you know, the peak of his career, I think it was a little bit earlier. But you could still see that, you know, his touch and, you know, the awareness of the game and, you know, the vision and everything. It was unbelievable. You know, I mean, obviously he didn't have the pace anymore, but I mean, I was grateful that, you know, I can play for him for the year. You know, and he was great in the dressing room, great fun. You know, great guy.
I bet he was. Some stories from John Barnes that we can't talk about again.
Great guy to be around. So. So he took advantage at the beginning of me because I couldn't speak the language. But
he liked showing you his car, though, didn't he?
Oh yeah, and his tapes and cat.
Well, on that then, because we've got because obviously someone must have known this as well. Marcus Banks has said, "What did you enjoy more, assisting John Barnes in the Cup Winners' Cup, or Owen in the FA Cup final?"
Yeah, I mean,
you're setting up your hero. You're setting up for.
Yeah, but people don't know that, you know, the pass to Michael was a clearance. I couldn't breathe, and I just smashed the ball forward, and luckily Michael was at the end of the ball.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, you know, you play. I always, I mean, I enjoyed it, you know, when I scored a goal, but I always. For me, I had a better feeling when I assist to someone. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's great when you score a goal. Obviously, there is no better feeling. But when I assist to someone, you know, I mean, I felt better about myself in a way. So, yeah, I mean, you know, I have assisted to many players, you know, over the years. But, you know, with Michael, obviously, it was an important game against Arsenal. I think, you know, we're supposed to be 7-0 down after 25 minutes. They had so many chances, you know, they couldn't score a goal. And
it's hard when we have two goalkeepers on the pitch, isn't it?
and we survived, you know, and then Michael scored 2 goals and then we won the cup. Yeah. So it was an amazing day because obviously.
Was there any banter with Stefan? Because obviously of his handballs and stuff like that, did you all like, you got away with one there, mate, or?
Yeah, I mean, with the VAR. I mean, you know, these days, I mean, it would be game over. But I mean, luckily there was no war on at the time, 2001, and then Stefan made a great save.
He certainly did. Yeah, there's an interesting one from Alessi Tritoli. Great name. What was the story behind your potential transfer to Roma in 1997?
Yeah, that is true. I didn't play for, you know, for the period. I didn't play as much as I wanted to play, and I felt that, you know, Roy Evans as a manager was, it was either me or Stan Collingwood all the time, you know. So even if I had a good game, you know, the next game I was not playing. So I felt like, you know, I'm playing well. You know, why I'm not playing the next game, and I was not happy about that. So I spoke to my agent, and then he basically had AS Roma for me. So I spoke with the president of AS Roma. You know, we agreed all the terms. Everything has been agreed. That was, I think, around Christmas time. So I would leave in January. But I had a meeting with Peter Robinson. You know, the guy that ran Liverpool Football Club.
Legend.
You know, I mean, he's behind all the success. So I had a meeting with him, and he told me like a secret news that nobody knew, and he said, you know, the new manager, French manager, is coming over in the summer, and he doesn't want you to go anywhere. He wants you to be here. He wants to work with you.
Yeah.
He wants to have you in the team, but you just have to be patient till the summer. And he said, I know it's still half a season ahead, but you know, I just want to let you know that he wants to keep you, and I don't want to sell you either.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was happy with that. You know, I said, okay. I mean, half a season will go by fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then that was the end of it. But the offer was on the table, and everything has been agreed. So
thank you,
Peter Robinson. I think Peter Robinson was the person who signed me for Liverpool. It was not Roy Evans.
Yeah.
Even he was the manager, but I think Peter Robinson was the guy who wanted me at Liverpool. And he was also the reason why I didn't go to AS Roma. Yeah. So, and I'm happy about that.
Absolutely,
obviously
I
now.
think a lot of us are. Right?
And you know, so it was a good decision, a good choice.
Definitely, in the end. Which Liverpool game that you played in would you want to relive again?
Obviously, probably the first game I played for Liverpool. You know, I played a little bit. I think Leicester was my first game. No, it was not.
First goals.
That was my first goal. The first
Southampton
was the first. Yeah, so I think I played last 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
So the feeling I had, you know, walking at Anfield, you know, touching the sign and you know, hearing the anthem, and you know, the atmosphere was unbelievable. So for that reason, I would go for that game. But then you have Chelsea when I scored the hat-trick, and all the finals, you know, when we won the trophies. Obviously, they are the games that I would love to relive again, just because, you know, I could have a drink afterwards.
Speaking of which, of your Chelsea hat-trick, have you still got the match ball?
Yes.
And have you still got your champagne bottle from your man of the match?
Yes, I do.
Brilliant.
I do.
Why wouldn't you keep it? Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I still have it.
So, again, multiple people have asked this one. Favourite goal for Liverpool?
Ooh. I mean, always the first one is big.
Yeah.
So the one at Leicester, I think, would be up there. Then obviously Old Trafford. You know, the free kick at Old Trafford. I think, you know, most of the Liverpool fans think that was the best goal I scored, you know, in the Liverpool jersey.
Yeah.
But you know, I was not scoring that many goals, but you know, I was usually scoring like a good goals, you know, outside of the box. And usually, if you score a goal outside of the box, it's a great goal.
Yeah.
Because it's from long distance.
Yeah.
And you really have to hit. You only have, you know, some parts of the goal where you can put the ball, because you have the goalkeeper in the middle, and it has to be a good strike.
Yeah.
And I was lucky that you know, I scored few good goals from the long range distance. But yeah, I would go with the first one, and then obviously Old Trafford.
Yeah, brilliant. Good
for
choices.
Liverpool.
For Liverpool, yeah. Nice one, Terry Riley, for that question, mate, because I knew that would be a good one. But we've got another video coming up very, very soon where we go through Patrick's top 10 goals of his choice. So stay tuned for that one. Funny one, this one. Robbie Coombs 15 from Twitter said, "Is Vladimir really Paddy Berger's mate?"
Of course.
Obviously, that is a reference to the Schmeitzer song.
Yeah. He's good. He's great. He's
Paddy Berger's mate.
No, of course. As I said in the previous, you know, answer, that I met Vladdy when he was 17 in Slavia Prague, and from the first day, we have been, you know, the best mates. And he only lives 2 minutes down from my road over here in Prague. We play hockey together now. We play paddle together now. So, you know, nothing has changed ever since we met when we were 17. So, you know, it's he's one of my best mates.
Reds fan JD has asked, would you have liked to play for Rafa?
I would like to play for Klopp.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah.
If I could choose, you know, I would like to play for Klopp.
I think personality-wise,
everything about him.
Yeah, me knowing you and how you are as a person, I think, yeah, you would probably be much suited on Klopp. You'd have a better relationship. Not saying that you wouldn't, because, you know, but Rafa's Rafa, isn't he? You know.
No, I mean, you know, I don't know Rafa, and I don't know. I never met Rafa. I met Jurgen Klopp a few times. we were with the first team in America, and they had the pre-season a couple of years ago. So me, Vladi, and Rashi, went with the first team. So I was talking to him. I met him a few times. So and just the way they played, the way he was, the way he was talking to the press, to the players, to the fans, just his aura about him, the character he was. I mean, the way he liked to play the game, I would definitely want to play for him.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think a lot of people would as well.
Yeah.
Stephen Lyons asked, I know we're going backwards again, but again, they're not in any order, so we can keep people on the toes. Were there any other teams in for you when you signed for Liverpool?
I don't know, to be fair, because I still had 2 years left on my deal with Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
When I find out that Liverpool is interested, before the final of Euro '96, then there was nothing else in my mind, so I was not even asking my agent if there are other teams, that are interested.
No.
I just I didn't even ask. I just said, please do everything in your power to get me to Liverpool. And he did. So
brilliant. So Redmen TV, our friends at Redmen have said you're hosting a party, but can only invite 5 former Liverpool teammates. Who's coming? Now, apologies in advance. They've said 5, so if you don't make the list and you're his mate watching this,
I apologise.
Don't have a go at us.
For anybody that I wouldn't invited, right? So I would definitely go. I'll go for Vladi.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll have to. Otherwise, he wouldn't play paddle with me. Then I'll go with John Barnes. I would go with Babsy.
Yeah.
I would go with Jason, and then I would go with Robbie.
Brilliant. Well, sorry if you didn't make the list.
Yeah. Sorry, guy.
But it sounds like a good. That sounds like a good dinner party. John Barnes with the intelligence.
John Barnes would be in charge of fun, fun and the music as well. Vladi would be in charge of alcohol. Jason would be talking nonsense as he always does. They would. I have to go for the guys that I played with, at the beginning, because they really took me under their wings.
Yeah.
They really were looking after me. They were my age. They were also like Mark Wright, but he was already 32, 33. So I would go for those 5 because, obviously John Barnes was my hero and he's a great lad. When I see him, every time I see him, I have a goosebumps on my arms and we always have a fun. So this would be a great party.
It would be a great party. So I tell you what, if we get a lot of comments for this video and you want to see that dinner party happen, then let us know and we'll get them all around this table, or a table. We'll get you back over to England and we'll do it. You'll have to just say hello and then we'll have to cut the cameras off, or at least have them on mute. Fucking hell, God knows what will go on there.
No, you don't want to know.
Right, mate, so we're going to move on to your time at Pompey now. Just a few questions here. First one out the back. Benjo Pompey and Mesa Cochran has asked your favourite Pompey goal, but we all know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, that's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair, I have scored quite a good goals for Pompey as well.
Yeah.
But Charlton away. That would have to be. That's probably the best goal I have scored. Through all my career.
Absolutely.
So I have to go for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That was. It was such an obvious question, but I had to put it in because it's so true. And if you want to hear the story behind that goal, watch the Pompey video. Multiple people have asked this again. What attracted you to Portsmouth, and did you have any other offers?
I think I could go to Leeds.
All right.
I had Leeds and Pompey on the table.
I think you made the right choice there.
And
no disrespect to Leeds.
Yeah. If you look it back, it was
good club, but
it was a good and we beat them at home. I think 5-0 as well.
Yeah.
I scored in that game too. Teddy Sheringham scored, and it was great because after that game we got 3 days off. Harry was unbelievable. When you won, you had 2-3 days off.
Brilliant.
He was like the old school manager, but he was fantastic. It was such a joy to play for him. And be around him, on a daily basis was really good. And he was the reason, basically. Obviously, I played with Jamie Redknapp, so I knew what Jamie Redknapp is like. He was family comes first, in their family. So I heard so much stories about Harry as well. And as soon as I had a one-on-one conversation with him, there was, my mind was made, and I just wanted to go down there.
Yeah, great. What was it like scoring against Liverpool?
I mean, it was. I didn't celebrate, but I was happy because I had a little. I left Liverpool because the relationship between me and Gerard Houllier, towards the end was not the best. So I didn't want to go. Obviously, you don't want to leave Liverpool, but there was no way that we could carry on working together. Yeah. So I decided to go, and I joined Pompey. So if you watch the video, it's not kind of like a celebration that I'm happy that I scored against Liverpool. It was more kind of like a satisfaction that I scored and we won that game as well, 1-0. So
it was quite funny because when you do watch the footage, you see a few of your teammates just sort of restraining you a little bit, just pulling you in.
Yes,
because you can't.
They knew.
Exactly,
they knew, and so it was not like a celebration, but it was more like. I know. It was more like a.
We've all been there. So I totally get it.
I'm sure that people know that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Play Up Pompey fan has said, "I was gutted when you left Pompey. What happened?"
I think Harry Redknapp left as well, and the vibe in the club and was a little bit different. And Harry was the reason why I signed for Pompey. So when he left, everything has changed a little bit. Yeah. And when I got an offer from Aston Villa, I think I got 2 years deal offer from Aston Villa, and then we have negotiated 3 years. And my age at the time, and I thought that 2-3 years is great, so that I have like a security for another 3 years. I don't have to move the kids after another year somewhere, because it was hard enough through the career, to move them from one place to the other. And if you do that every year, they make friends and then they move in somewhere else. So when we agreed for 3 years, there was no question about not signing the deal. Yeah. And Aston Villa is a massive, massive club. If you go historically, they are a great football club. They have the history, the training ground. They have the fan base. It's a big club. So it was kind of like better than playing for Pompey in a way, because it was a better football club.
The level, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because like you said, the club, you still had a fantastic time in Portsmouth, and you said you loved living down there as well, didn't you? So
Fratton Park was brilliant, and I loved it. It was the nicest place we lived in.
Yeah.
Liverpool was the best, obviously, but where in Bournemouth where we lived, it was brilliant.
Yeah, that's what Harry Redknapp was telling me. He said, "Come to play for me." And then, the reasons he told me, I wanted to play for him, but he also said life-wise. Yeah. South of England is totally different compared to north of England. Yeah. And you have beaches, you have palm trees. And he said, it looks like Spain. When someone would drop you on the beach, he would be thinking like, where am I? Am I Spain? Yeah. And it really was like that. It is a beautiful part of the world, to live in. So we had a great 2 years down there.
Yeah. So bookending sort of your career, what was it like when you signed for Sparta Prague? Because I remember you telling me that you did have offers from England, didn't you, to stay?
Yeah, I had offer I spoke to Harry, and I told him that I'm thinking about to go back home. And one of the reasons also was that Patrik was already 16, and I always wanted to go back home. I didn't want to stay in England or anywhere else. I always wanted to go back home to Czech Republic when I retired. And he was already, I think, 16, and I knew if I'll stay there for another 2-3 years, there's no way he's going to come back to Czech Republic. And it was kind of like a selfish decision in a way, because I wanted him to be with us. Yeah. It would break my heart if he would be in England and I would be in Czech Republic. So
thanks for that.
You're welcome. That was one of the decisions, and then to return to Sparta Prague as well, where everything started for me from when I was 6 years old. Yeah. What I wanted to do, and I decided to come back to Czech Republic and play for Sparta Prague and finish my career over there.
Nice way to sort of bookend your career then, isn't it? Start at Slavia, finish in Sparta.
No. I started in Sparta Prague.
Oh, as a youth, yeah.
But until I was 17. Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, my first professional game I had for Slavia Prague. Yeah. I actually Slavia Prague was opening the new stadium a couple of years ago. I was still playing in Premier League, and then they invited a lot of former players, so I was allowed to come over here.
Yeah.
And Vladi was already playing for Slavia Prague when he came back from France.
Right. Okay.
And I was talking to the manager of Slavia Prague, and he knew that I'm thinking about coming back. And I said, I said to him, yes, I am. I am like 50-50 to stay in Premier League or come back over here. And he said, well, I'll take you. And I was like, well, I can basically play a game with Vladi, in Slavia. Absolutely, that would be great to finish the career and play together. And then I have made my decision, and then he pulled out.
Ah.
And then Sparta Prague stepped in, and then basically I ended up in Sparta Prague, which was not a problem.
No, absolutely.
But, originally I wanted to finish the career playing alongside Vladi because, we were talking about it all the time. It would be great. And we wanted to do that, but for whatever reason, the manager just pulled out, and then, I had to basically, make a deal with Sparta Prague, and that's how I ended in Sparta Prague.
Got the league title out of it though, mate, didn't you? You won the league title. So what we're going to move on to now is just some random football questions, because we had a few questions just about football in general. So Ross AC 1984 has asked, you played in a few different positions, which was your preferred role?
I mean, my like in the hole between strikers and midfield players, that was the position, I felt most comfortable in.
So this came in from two people. So it was Liam Granby and Vinnie McGuinness. Who was the toughest and best player you played against in your career?
The best, Zidane, and the toughest, Roy Keane.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Did he leave a few in on you, Roy Keane?
Yeah, him and Patrik Vieira. I mean, he was also a very tough player, but I'll go for Roy Keane. I mean, he was like, he could play football, he could score, but he was a great player. I know he played for Manchester United, but that is the kind of player you would like to play with.
Oh yeah, you'd have him in your team. You'd go to war with him, wouldn't you? Yeah.
And he's a good pundit as well.
He's very good.
He's very funny.
He takes no shit, does he? He just says it how it is.
And I like that about him.
I do.
He's not messing around.
No.
Whatever is in his mind, he's going to say it.
I think more people should be like that, to be honest, on the telly.
Absolutely true.
Purple Penguin 81 has said, the happiest and saddest moments of your career. What are they?
I mean, the happiest, every time you win something. The saddest, when I think every athlete can relate to that. When you get injured and you just can't play, you can't really do what you love to do. You see your teammates, go into the games, go into the training sessions, and you can't. Yeah, and
with injury for you, you've sort of robbed of like 3 years of your career, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was actually counting that, and I think I was out for 3 years, and all the operations were on my right knee, so I had about 8 operations.
Yeah,
and but I was on the other hand, I was lucky that I always was going to the best surgeon in the world, which was Dr. Stedman in America. So to be fair to him, everything that he repaired was never broken again. It was every time was a different thing in my knee. So, but he told me after the first one, I remember he said, "You're going to be okay for 7-8 years on that level." I was, I think, 19 or 20 when I did my first ACL with my meniscus, and he said, "You be all right for 7-8 years playing at the top level, but then you may have a problem with the knee again." And exactly after 7 or 8 years, everything started to go wrong.
Yeah.
And I had another 7 operations on the right knee.
Jesus. So when you think about it, all those operations and all the time out, you still had
unbelievable career. Yeah,
I mean, it's
I played with so many amazing players. I played for great teams, so I have no regrets really.
Well, that was going to be my next question from Ngon and Dashi. And who gets in football? None. So there we go. There's the answer to that one. And it's great. It's mostly in life as well, because you say that a lot about in life, don't you? Have no regrets. No, I mean,
listen. Obviously there are situations which, you're thinking about, and you would probably think, I mean, if I have done everything differently, but maybe that would put you on a different path, and we wouldn't be sitting over here. Yeah. So if I would have the opportunity to go back to when I was 10 years old, and relive the life again, I mean, I would do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah.
So a name here you recognise, Queenie 92020. So
Hello, Queenie.
she has asked the best player you've ever played with.
Stevie G.
Yeah.
That is easy. I mean, I played with amazing players over the years in national team, Borussia Dortmund, obviously Liverpool, and I mean, if I'll have to pick one, it's Stevie G.
Yeah. And again, we could do a full episode on that as well, so we won't do that. So, but good question. She also wants to know, will you follow her on Twitter?
Queenie?
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, right. Get your phone out.
Where's my phone?
Okay, Tom O'Reilly _42 has asked, what was the best tactical advice any Liverpool coach gave you, or any coach for that matter? They were all shit.
Probably just play simple.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, get it.
You know, I mean, sometimes the coaches, you know, try to do so many complicated things, but football is a simple game.
Yeah.
You know, control the ball, pass the ball, move. You know, get yourself available. You know, I know people hate the way that tiki-taka gets played.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, you know, I mean, the boys, they just control the ball. You know, their teammates are basically making them available, and they're just passing the ball. I mean, that's a beautiful way to watch.
Yeah.
You know, I love to watch that kind of football because it's simple.
Yeah.
It looks so simple, but that is the hardest in football, to play simple.
Yeah. Albanese 234 from YouTube said, who is your idol growing up?
I had two players. It was Jean-Paul Tigana, the French player who played with Platini, and you know, in that era, very good player. I think you mentioned he was a Fulham coach as well for a bit.
Yeah.
And then Pierre-Elie Barski, which was a German player. He had like a letter O legs, you know, unbelievable. I mean, I couldn't even know how he can walk. And then obviously, John Barnes was like one of my heroes as well. So.
Gavin Owen has asked, which football kit for Liverpool was your favourite?
The first one. The first one I was wearing. Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one, yeah. Now we're going on to a few fun questions that have come through. Nothing to do with football, which will be quite funny. So Liverpool Rage has asked, what's your favourite way to cook eggs?
Boiled eggs.
Boiled eggs.
Yeah, but I don't cook them. You know, that's the way I like them the most, but I don't cook them.
Colin Farrant has asked, what's your favourite cheese?
It would be Emmental.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah, that would be my favourite cheese, yeah.
Yeah. We've got one here from Instagram from Berger Yarka.
Ooh!
That says, how many goals did you score at your height?
With the header?
Yeah.
A few?
Yeah.
Yeah. I scored one. I scored one for Slavia Prague. I scored actually.
There was a laughing emoji after this, so
I know.
She's taking the piss.
No, she is. but I have scored a few. I've scored one when I was 16.
Yeah.
And I played with the kids under 9. And then I scored one. I scored 2 for Slavia Prague. One of them was the goalkeeper saved the penalty, and the ball was in the air, so I just scored with the header, and I haven't scored for Liverpool. No, I think only 3. Only 3.
Yeah. There you go. So she's definitely winding you up there, isn't she?
Yeah. No Christmas present for her.
We've got Camille Choose from Instagram. What's your favourite hangover cure?
That's easy. It would be Czech soup.
Yeah.
Garlic soup.
Like a garlic, it's like a garlic soup.
Okay.
Having a shit and a shower.
Love it. Shit, shower and garlic. Love it. She's also asked, Zvikova or goulash?
Goulash. I would go for goulash, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Like last night.
Yeah, there we go, yeah, that's a good point. So Melissa Best has asked, what's your favourite holiday destination?
I mean, I have been to so many places, and you know, I mean, the world is beautiful. But anywhere where I can explore the place where I'm going. I'm not kind of a person who lies on the beach and is there for 4 or 5 days. So basically anywhere where I can just explore.
Yeah.
You know, that could be in the mountains, could be on the beach, could be it could be anywhere, you know, on the golf course, you know, anywhere. I'll just like to explore.
That's what I mean. I think a lot of people see you exploring, you know, sort of 6 months of the year. You were different places all the time, and you are pitched to find your favourite, wouldn't you?
Because I love mountains when they are, you know, full of snow. It's beautiful, and then obviously I like a beach when it's 35 degrees, you know. But it's difficult. It's not like I prefer one or the other.
Of course.
But as soon as I can explore, you know, that's the place I want to go to.
Phil Campbell has asked, what is your death row meal? So are you aware what a death row meal is? So you make a selection where you are on death row, and you've got to pick a starter, a main, and a dessert. What are you picking?
Okay, so I'll go for pea soup.
Yeah.
Made by Yarka.
Okay. She's not in the room, by the way. So
No.
The compliment's been lost.
But she's gonna see the video. Don't worry. I need the brownie points. Actually, she will be cooking everything.
Yeah.
So main course, I would go for any kind of seafood.
Yeah.
Grilled seafood, loads of it. And then dessert, there's like a chocolate dessert, which if you cut in, you know, the chocolate moves out. It's like a hot dessert with a vanilla ice cream. That would be my dessert.
And drink of choice?
Drink of choice, Chateau Latour 1973.
There we go. Wine connoisseur, if you didn't know, by the way. Vinny McGuinness, he's back again. And this is typical of Vinny asking this, because I go the match with him. He said, when you're having a few bevies, what beer would you choose?
Pilsen. Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's no
other choice, is there?
There's no other choice. You know, I mean, English people may not understand, you know, what that means, but you know, for the Czech people, they will know this is the beer you go for.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. I have told Vinny that, but he's like, I'm just sticking to my magic. Chris Simons has said, I'm a car fanatic and footballers are known to have flash cars. What was your first car you bought as a footballer?
It was Skoda.
Was it?
That was my first, the first money I got when I signed for Slavia Prague, the first money I got I gave to my dad, you know, to buy a car he wants to buy.
Yeah.
And then I bought Skoda for myself because, you know, I was just starting to driving.
Yeah.
You know, I was 18 years old, so it was a green color. We only had 2 or 3 colors available, you know, so I went for the green one. And I mean, it was a great car. I mean, it got me from the point A to point B. So I could drive around Prague, you know, I felt like, you know, I'm driving a Porsche or, you know, any other car. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it.
Did you ever make the one step above, like, so you go one step further and get a nicer car as you got?
Well, once I was in Germany with my agent, and he had a Mercedes car, and we had to go to the Mercedes garage for whatever, and they had new cars, you know, inside, like in the showroom, and there was a SL 500. Which is like a 2-seater, and you know, when I saw the car, you know, I fell in love with the car. And at the time I didn't have any money. I played for Slavia Prague, so I was lucky that I could afford Skoda, you know, so, but I was like, wow, that became a dream car for me straight away. And when I signed for Liverpool, you know, I decided to buy that car, so I bought it in 1996. And I still have the car until today. So
that's unreal, that's really good.
And it is. I think, you know, it's just it's a car which my kids will have. You know, when I die one day, it's like it's going to stay in the family forever. It is an amazing car.
Because it's a good symbol as well, isn't it, of what you've achieved and when you got that. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Mark Ashurst asks, how are you getting on playing golf?
Yeah, well, I have, like everyone, I have good days and I have bad days. But I haven't played that much lately because, you know, I started to do fly fishing, which I absolutely love it, and I've been, you know, fly fishing instead of playing golf. But lately, you know, the last couple of months, you know, I've got back to doing golf, and I enjoy golf. It's great. It's a great sport. It's a good exercise if you walk. So yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm about 5 handicap.
Yeah.
So You know, when I'm playing well, I'm playing somewhere around that. And the next day I can be 20 handicap. You know, I mean, golf is such a hard sport.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I can't get to grips with it. Don't know how you do it, mate, to be honest. Colin Banks is asking, Jay tells me you're into your red wine. What's your favourite?
French Bordeaux.
Yeah.
From the region Bordeaux, you know, that's a wine I like the most. But when you can go to Italy, Spain, and you know they have a great wine as well. So yeah, I like red wine. I like red wine. You know, that's also one of my passions or hobbies. Or you know, I don't drink that much, but you know, when I want to have a drink, you know, I want to have a good wine.
Yeah. We've got one here from Patrik Berger Jr.
Oh.
Which of the two children you have produced is your favourite? Sorry, mate, I've stitched you up there. Yeah, so we won't answer that one.
Well, I love them to bits. He knows the answer, so he can answer that.
Hi, Val.
Yeah.
Right, last couple now, mate. I'm sorry about that. I can't get it in there. So, UK has said that, I see that you play ice hockey quite a bit. Which team is your favourite in the NHL? Yuki's from California and she's an Anaheim Ducks fan.
Okay, so we used to have a property in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, below Tampa. So Tampa Bay would be the team for us. They also had, you know, historically few Czech players.
Yeah.
So I'm always rooting for the Czech players, you know, wherever they play.
Yeah.
So as long as there is a Stanley Cup winner and Czech player is in that team, you know, then I'm happy for the guy. But if I would have to go for the team, it would be Tampa Bay.
Brilliant. Yeah, good side.
Went a few times as well, you know, to watch it.
Oh,
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Stanley Cup, yeah.
So yeah, it's a great sport. I love it.
It is.
It's a great sport. I love it. Yeah.
It is. I wish I supported a better team, but we suck. Stu Taylor has asked, what do you actually have on your burger? So if you had a cheeseburger, hamburger, what would you have on it?
I would have egg.
Such a big question, isn't it?
I would have egg. I would have cheese. I would have bacon.
Yeah.
You know, and I would have ketchup.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go, Stu.
I don't need anything else.
So again, a couple of quick fire ones. Favourite band, or have you got a favourite music genre?
I love the 80s, and obviously a lot of, you know, Czech bands, and not many people know about it, but I like Coldplay. Like I like to listen to them. But in Czech Republic, it would be probably Michal David, you know, one of very old singers.
Yeah, old school.
But old school, but I love to listen to his songs.
Brilliant. Favourite film of all time? There's about 3 people have asked that.
So, I'll go for 2, right?
Yeah.
The funny one is Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey.
What? I love you, man. Oh, okay.
I mean, that's
Brilliant.
brilliant. I love it. I could watch it over and over again. And then Gladiator.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
go for Gladiator.
Yeah,
There's so many great movies, but Gladiator is my favourite.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a difference in the when you sort of have a look at like your favourite film of all time and the best thing you've ever watched. You know, they can be 2 completely different things. So.
Yeah, but I mean, if I could only watch one movie over and over again, it would be Gladiator and Dumb and Dumber.
Good choices. Yeah. TV show, same question. Any favourites there?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Peaky Blinders, brilliant.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones, you know, I just fell in love with that show.
Yeah. It's one of the best things ever. For me, that's the second best ever after Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad's the best thing ever. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You not watched that?
No, I haven't watched that one.
I'll have to watch that.
No, I will.
Yeah, it's really good.
I will. I mean, there is so many. I mean, Friends. I mean, my kids, they love Friends.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, that's their favorite. And you always laugh. You know, we can watch that also every
in
day.
the background, yeah.
But Game of Thrones would be definitely. Yeah.
Good choice, mate. So I've saved this one for last because I think that could be quite funny. Mick Cassidy has asked, have you ever had any weird fan interactions?
Yes, I had. Yeah, I think.
Are we allowed to talk about any of them?
Yeah, I had like throwing underwear, you know, into the bus and signing breasts, you know, and receiving like you know, naked pictures and stuff like that, you know. So I did, and I remember there was one girl from Germany, and eventually they had to. She was kind of. she was probably ill in a way, I would say. But she was sending pictures and letters every Monday for years, every Monday.
Right.
And she was, in the letters, she was saying, it was great to talk to you yesterday. I never talked to her, right? And she was also sending pictures, pictures and, you know, in her clothes and stuff like that. And over the period, you know, the pictures started, she had less and less clothes. and then one day she sent the pictures and she was naked. And I was going through it and I didn't know Rigobert's song was right behind me. And then I was just going through it, you know, reading the letter, and I had the pictures in my other hand, and then I just could hear Songy behind me. Beautiful. And I was like, Songy, And to be fair, you know, it got to the point where she started to attack my family in the letters and the kids. And she was threatening the kid that, you know, something is going to happen to my kids. So I had to report that to the guy that was dealing with all the press, you know, at Liverpool. And, you know, they had to report that to the police in Germany. They contacted her and it stopped.
Wow.
Yeah. It got so far that basically that's what they had to do. Because I was like, okay, man, maybe she doesn't mean it, you know, but it was horrible to read that.
Yeah.
So that's what happened at the end. So there was no more pictures for Songy.
Sorry about my mum.
Yeah.
She God, mate, that's brilliant. Did it? You know, when you walk down the street, then, like if like in Liverpool or like, do you get a lot of attention and sort of like compliments and?
Yeah, people do recognise you, and I always had a great relationship with the Liverpool fans. You know, I mean, I think I did quite well for Liverpool. I was always giving 100%. I mean, you know, they can see that. I've been there for 7 years, which is a long time. Yeah. And, you know, I never had a bad experience, you know, with the Liverpool fans ever.
Yeah. And you said the same thing about Pompey as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
Pompey fans were really with you.
Yeah, they were awesome. So even in Dortmund, you know, for the year, you know, I always had a good relationship with the fans, maybe because the way I played, you know, they liked the way I was playing, that I was giving everything on the pitch. So it's always nice when someone recognizes you. You know, in Liverpool, the fans understand the game.
Yeah.
You know, they know football, and you know, to chat with them or take a picture or anything, it's always good. I enjoy it.
Good. Right. Well, Patrik, thank you so much for letting us do this. I think it's been really, really good. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I had fun. I mean, I was a little bit nervous at the beginning because I didn't know, you know, the questions. But, you know, they have been all very good, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know, it was fun. Yeah, well, thank you to everybody who sent in a question, and, you know, we'll do this again because we've had a really, really great response there. So again, thank you so much. And, you know, if you did enjoy the video, please like it, subscribe and share it to everybody, and leave a comment and let us know what your favourite part of the video was. But again, once again, mate, thank you so much for letting us do it. Wouldn't be able to do that without you. It's a pleasure, mate. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching. And subscribe, like, love from Prague.